Hey, buddy.
Hey, Frank. All right, first I see the shirt, man. Red Hannah. Tell me about it, man. What is it?
Red Hannah is a band in Fort Myers, Florida. It's about an hour south of where I'm at. And I did a charity show with them when Hurricane Ian came through and wiped out the community.
Wow.
And I made friends with the guys. And Bob Tabarini's got a sideshow. Bob is a good friend of mine. And this is his band, Red Hannah.
Nice, man. Nice. We'll have to check it out for sure. For sure. All right. Yeah, you don't need an introduction this time, man. I mean, come on.
I'm Cannon, everybody. How you doing? And this is All Music Magazine.
Yes, absolutely. And the Dr. Music podcast. And Frank Hannon, return guest. We love having you, man. I feel blessed. Very, very blessed that you come back. You're not too annoyed by me. That's good.
Well, I think last time we talked, I told you that we'd be talking soon because I had in my mind knowing that I was going to release the Gary Wright tribute, Love is Alive.
Yeah.
And we are fast forward to the month of February. And I've recently just put out a brand new video for the single of Love is Alive.
Yes, you have, and it's pretty great, man. I got a lot of questions. And I'm a fan of Gary, and I'm a fan of the song. Um, Everybody knows Gary from Dreamweaver. A few have gone to Love Is Alive was a big hit as well. But the whole catalog, Gary was an amazing guy, a huge resume, so many things. So it's great that you do this and bring some of that out. Maybe get some people talking about Gary. How did you know Gary at all?
I never met Gary Wright, but I was a huge fan of the Dreamweaver album. And being a kid in the '70s, that sound that he created was really unique, and always triggers an emotion or a memory of being a kid in the '70s when I hear that music. And when he passed away recently, um, the news kind of just came and went, and like it does with a lot of people. Um, but my friend Kelly Smith, who is in my music video with me, he plays drums. He's a great friend of mine. He had reminded me that we had recorded a live version of that song in my garage about 4 years ago.
Wow.
This was right when Gary Wright passed away. He and I were having a conversation, and he goes, "Hey, remember when we did that song, Love is Alive, in your garage?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So when I was home in California on a break, I looked through my files and I found our version of it. And I called him up and I said, "Hey, let's get the guys over and make a video for it." And we did, and I mixed it and put it together. And that's what.
That is
But
cool.
the difference that I did to modernize it more of a Frank Hannon style is I added guitars to it. What Gary Wright was doing was very innovative in the '70s. The whole Dreamweaver album doesn't have a guitar on it at all. It's
Nope.
all done with ARP and Moog synthesizers. And he created such a unique sound using synthesizers on the original version. So when we did our version, we did it with guitars, and then I wanted to pay respect to the original, and I used my Mini Moog synthesizer to play the bass.
Man, incredible. Now, that was my question. And I see a four-string bass on the video. Somebody's playing bass. You also play on the keyboard, the Mini Moog. Did you double it?
Yeah, the band that's performing in that video consists of Nick Nichols on bass, Kelly Smith on the drums, and Billy Rainey on rhythm guitar, and then myself singing, playing lead guitar, and the Mini Moog. Um, those guys are my friends in Sacramento, California, that I've played with for years. They've backed me up as the Frank Hannon band, and they've all got their own bands and different projects. They play with Austin Moe, who's a young guitarist in Sacramento, who's phenomenal. They play in a band called Rogue. A lot of these bands that I've mentored and produced over the years in Sacramento, California. Nick Nichols learned Gary Wright's bass parts on his Fender bass guitar, and we tracked it live with him playing bass, and he did a great job playing it on bass. And then so I listened to Nick Nichols' parts that he did, learned what he played on the bass, and I learned how to play it on the keyboard, and then I overdubbed the Moog along with his bass in synchronized it.
Yep. It's awesome, man. I mean, it's really cool. And it's such a cool bass line to begin with. But to
all time.
Oh yeah. And and it's like you said, Gary went out with 3 keyboard players and a drummer, sometimes 4 keyboard players and a drummer when he was touring. Just a pioneer.
Yeah.
I mean, a real pioneer.
A real pioneer of the keytar, playing a keyboard like in a guitar position. Yep. And using those old analog synthesizers back in the 70s. The only other guy was Edgar Winter who was doing that.
Yep. I remember. Yep.
And I saw a video of Gary Wright's band, and I think he had a young teenage keyboard player actually playing the bass, who's one of the Porcaro brothers from Toto.
Okay.
I don't remember his name. Jeff Porcaro played drums, and then the keyboard player.
Steve was was he a bass player? I think Steve was a bass player, right?
Porcaro? Maybe it was playing keyboards. I'm not sure. It's one of the guys from Toto.
Okay. Yeah. Crazy. Just there's the talent for Gary Wright, a child actor, just Spooky Tooth with Mick Jones, so many things. George Harrison, he played on almost everything with George Harrison, the Ringo All-Star Band, B.B. King, Jerry Lee Lewis. It's endless what the guy has done. But we know him for Dreamweaver, unfortunately, just for the one song. So many people do. Please research the guy, listen to his stuff. It's worth it.
Well, it's true. A lot of those guys, man, back in the 70s, man, they worked really hard on creating music. And back then, we didn't have the internet and all the connections that we have nowadays. The only way you would hear about stuff or read about your favorite artist was in Circus Magazine or Hit Parade or whatever.
Yep.
You rarely saw videos of people on TV unless it was Midnight Special or Don Kirshner's rock concert,
Yep.
So it amazes me when I think about the 70s in general and the talented musicians, that worked and paid their dues for years in multiple bands. Like the guys in Foghat, they were in Savoy Brown.
Yep.
Mick Jones, before he started Foreigner, he worked his butt off for years trying to make it as a guitar player. And then he discovered Lou Gramm and put together Foreigner, Yep. Guys inspire me, man, because they worked hard, and that's what I do. Fast forward to Tesla. I love Tesla, and I'm a full-time Tesla founding member, but I also do my own thing and work with other artists and work. I'm a workaholic.
You are, man, and you fix your house at the same time.
Yeah.
Tell me, you do this stuff outside of Tesla, and we get a different look. We get a different sound from you sometimes, something that wouldn't maybe fit into Tesla. We get to hear your voice, which is pretty awesome. A couple of questions. Do you ever share this stuff with the guys? Tell them what you're doing. I know Brian, I just got a press release about a band Brian produced, arranged, mixed. Really cool stuff. Does he share that with you? Do you share what you're doing with him and the other guys? How's it, do you ever share those things?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Individually, because we have dedicated the majority of our life to Tesla for 40 years, that when guys do their individual products or productions or projects, I meant to say, they do their own thing. Dave Rude's got his solo thing, and Jeff Keith had a country thing he was doing for a while, and Brian's real active in his stuff. And so, and I do my own thing. But Brian and I have been bros for so long, and we respect each other that he and I do bounce each other's ideas off each other. And I do want to give Brian some credit on Love Is Alive. He was the one that really suggested to me that in the video of the song to show footage of me performing on the Moog synthesizer, because the Moog synthesizer plays such a big part in that song.
Totally.
And yeah, we bounce ideas off each other all the time, and he'll play me his projects and ask me what I think, and sometimes he'll get me involved or I'll get him involved. So we definitely, Brian and I are a great team. We met each other back in 1982 and have been together for over 40 years. And so, we're both like yin and yang, we're very different, but we're very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's so cool. What you guys have done with Tesla and outside of Tesla, it's pretty great. Uh,
Thanks, bud.
there is a guitar on Dreamweaver, and it just so happens to be played by Ronnie Montrose. On
No,
the Power of Love song is that's the only guitar on the record. So yeah, and you didn't know that. Wow.
and I'm gonna trust that. I'm gonna have to go research that now, man. And
Yeah,
Ronnie,
yeah.
but I didn't even know that. What a connection!
Right. That is a total connection. And I was wondering, if you considered, obviously you didn't consider doing Power of Love because of that Ronnie Montrose connection. Of course, Ronnie produced the demo for Tesla, right?
Yeah. Ronnie
Yeah.
was a mentor and a producer of ours.
Yeah.
Very important beginnings. Yeah.
Yeah. So, check it out. Power of Love has a Ronnie Montrose guitar part on it. So,
Well, that's interesting, and it's interesting that it's another song about love. The theme of love is a continual theme in Tesla's music and my music and in general. And obviously Love Is Alive, Gary Wright. Now you're telling me Power of Love. I'm gonna have to go back and research that song.
yeah.
By the way, have you seen my Love Is Alive coffee mug?
I have frankhannon.com. You can get one of those. Look at that thing. I love it. You got a bunch of them there too. Some pretty awesome coffee mugs, man.
Well, now that I'm not a drug addict, alcoholic anymore, I'm a coffee junkie, man.
Hey,
And
man.
we've got Just Love
Oh, look at that.
Coffee. I'm
Oh,
going to work with them, and we're going to come up with a Frank Hannon blend.
that's cool. Really? Awesome. You don't have that yet, right?
No, not yet.
All right.
Maybe they call the heavy metal hippie coffee. I don't know. We're going to figure.
Oh, that's great, man. That's way cool. Way cool. That's I mean, all the stuff you do, man. It's got to be difficult. Keeping up with everything. It keeps you alive, keeps you awake.
Coffee definitely does that. Cup of coffee and go to bed, though. I'm the opposite of what you would normally do. When I used to smoke, well, I better not even talk about this, but it'll get out.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm the opposite. I can drink a cup of coffee and go take a nap.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. Yeah. Tell me about the arrangement. That was one of the big questions I had when I'm watching the video and I see two guitars. Now I know that this album is all synthesizer. It's all done on the keyboard. That's what Gary did. You had the bass, and I figured that's doubled because of the bass sound. It's just there. The guitar part. How do you incorporate not one but two guitars into this song that has no guitars? Was that difficult to arrange that?
No, it wasn't really difficult because what we did is we were jamming, meaning we were all together in a room, and the song itself, the groove of it and the riff down out, it's just, it can be played on a guitar, it can be played on a freaking tuba, and it's gonna sound. So it's a good example of a song that is written very good, like I said, whether it's on a tuba or a guitar or a keyboard. So it wasn't difficult at all. Um, it was fun to play those chunky guitar riffs and also incorporate the funky little
Yeah, yeah.
funky Stratocaster riff. So if you notice in that video, Billy's playing a Les Paul. It has a real chunky sound, and I'm playing the Stratocaster to give it that funky sound. So you got chunky and funky.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's cool. Yeah, that little jangly funky thing. That is cool. That's a great addition for sure. Um, you've got a big tour schedule with Tesla until the end of July. You got the Vegas residency in there from April 5th to the 13th. It's like 5 shows. Any desire to do solo shows on those off dates, or some
yeah.
little thing?
I've got a very busy schedule with Tesla, and I used to go crazy doing solo shows, but I'm not. I'm very doing a very few amount of solo shows, but I do. They're very special events, and it's Dallas, Texas, May 1st through the 3rd or the 4th, for the Dallas International Guitar Festival. Jimmy Wallace Music and the Dallas Guitar Festival is a great event. They have an outdoor stage, and it's going to be huge. They have in the past have had George Lynch has been there, Philip Sayce, Wes, Jeans, local Texas guitar players. In the past, Rick Derringer's performed there. Oriante's been there. I'm not sure who's there this year, except I do know that I'll be there, and I will have the guys in a band called Novocaine. They're a band that I work with, really cool rock and roll band from Dallas. They're going to back me up. And Novocaine will be, yeah,
Yes,
that's it.
that's it. Hell
Let
yeah,
me
it
see
is.
that. Nice.
Yes.
Where did you get that?
It's a secret. From PR. Jody, of course. She is a wonderful, the best PR person you can have. Just saying.
Yeah,
No,
that photo, man. I helped them put that together. They didn't even have a band photo when I met them, and I coached them to take a picture of yourself.
yes. Yeah, I know, I had something lined up with them, but it got canceled, because of,
Because he had a fire in his house.
yeah, and that broke my heart, man.
Well, hey, let's reschedule that. Let's get Dylan on the phone, and Dylan.
I'd love to, man.
Yeah, it's a great album, man. And Novocaine's going to play with me in Texas. So,
Yeah, just in
and I'm
time.
also do a show at Ardmore, Oklahoma, the night before, Thursday night, prior to the Dallas Festival in Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's great. And I can't wait to connect with those guys.
Where are you located?
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. Now I can't wait for you to come back, man.
I'd like to play the Arcada Theater as a solo show someday.
Yep. We love that place, man. That's right. Home base for me. So yeah, and I get my camera out, and I've shot you a million times. I'd love to shoot a solo show. That'd be great for sure. Yeah.
Hey, so I want to tell you about an event that I just did here in Sarasota. It was a fundraiser for a guy named Phil Fun. He's a local celebrity who's fighting cancer. And we had a charity concert here, and I played Love is Alive, but on acoustic guitar.
Okay.
And
By yourself?
By myself with my looper pedal. And again, because the song, Gary Wright wrote such a simple, great song, it went over great. People liked it.
Yeah.
Just acoustic, no keyboards.
And that's, I think that's a sign of what a great song it is. You can arrange it pretty much any way, play it on anything, and it's people love the cadence of it, the whole rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
Well,
level.
it's go, well, I think it's time to get ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hook right there.
Right. No doubt, man. And it's got soul, man. And
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about your voice in the past, and you've said, I think, you're no JK. You're not super, you don't love your voice, but you use it. How's something like that, man? You sound great on this record. I mean, it's just you do great on this, and that's not an easy vocal, really.
Thanks. Well, this is what I'm learning, man. I'm constantly learning. You never stop learning with music. But someone told me a long time ago that every person that sings, even if they're a great singer, like Celine Dion is a great singer, there's some things that she can't sing. Like she probably can't sing Janis Joplin. I don't know. Maybe she
Right.
can, but the song is the most important for a singer. Even if you watch like American Idol or The Voice, and they'll have a contestant on there who's obviously a great singer, which I'm not. They'll sing a song that they shouldn't have sang. It's like, well, they should have not tried that one.
Right. Right.
The
Yeah.
flip side of that is there's songs that I can sing easier than others. I don't know why. It's just weird that way. But what impressed me was when Axl Rose filled in for AC/DC and he sang Back in Black. I mean, he was kicking ass on that.
And I hate to really admit that. I'm not a big Axel fan. That voice just kind of grates on me, the whine of it. You like what you like. Nothing personal against him. It kind of is not my thing, but when I heard that same thing, I was like, wow, that sounds good. How did he do that?
Yeah. Yeah. So singing is it's a real bizarre thing, man. And some people are able to do it naturally, and some songs come more naturally than others. And but thanks for giving me the kudos on it, because again, man, I've had a real complex fear of singing since I forgot the words in the sixth grade talent show to a song that I was singing. It kind of put a fear in me. Oh man, singing is hard.
You know what I think about, and this is weird. I don't know if fans think about this kind of shit. Um, but JK is such an iconic. Jeff Keith, of course, such an iconic sound for the Tesla stuff. But there's a possibility of him getting sick. Somebody stepping in there. Do you cancel the show if gets laryngitis? Or do you sing the stuff? I'd love to hear Frank's version of some Tesla stuff.
Well, thank you. It's kind of sacred ground with Tesla. We've already decided that when Jeff can't sing, we won't get a replacement.
Yeah.
Historically, in the 40 years that we've been doing Tesla, we've probably can count on one or two hands at the most how many shows we've had to cancel due to him being sick. For years, we prided ourselves in never canceling a show. There's only been a few, and rightfully so, because he just could not do it. And bless his heart, he tried. But when the human voice and the human voice gets sick, you just can't do it. There's been a rare occasion maybe where I've covered and would sing to get through the show, but no, not really. I mean, I can pull off some Tesla songs, and I do on my own, but when it comes to a Tesla show, Jeff Keith is the singer.
Yeah. He's amazing. And you think about that, folks, 40 years without getting sick, really. Yeah, he'll get sick, but when it comes to showtime, he's on. He's ready to go.
There's been a few times where we've had to cancel.
Yeah.
But we try not to, and we've tried not to for many years. And I think Jeff Keith deserves a lot of credit for still singing and doing what he's doing at his age.
It's incredible, man. It's nuts. Seeing you guys recently, in the past year or so, just, I mean, it's incredible. I don't know how
Well,
the guy does it.
yeah, I love doing the shows with Jeff, and he and I sing a lot together in the show. I've learned a lot from Jeff Keith on phrasing and harmony, and he and I sing harmonies in the show a lot.
Yep.
And when I do my solo shows, I love singing his lyrics. Like I'll sing "What You Give" because he wrote that from his heart, and I wrote it from my heart with him, and I can feel every word he sings on that. So there's a few songs that I will attempt to do now and then, Love Song, What You Give, the songs that I wrote the music for.
Hmm.
But when it comes to doing a Tesla show, it's all about Jeff Keith.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are so great. And it's great to see brothers out there, man, doing what
Yeah.
you're doing for so long, too. It's really cool. FrankHannon.com. You get all that information, get the mug.
Yeah.
Love Is Alive is available there. Go check it out, folks. Frank, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Tesla is releasing the vinyl for Reel to Reel.
Oh,
That's for Record Store Day, a 12-inch vinyl remastered Reel to Reel album, which
man.
also has some great remakes on that. And so keep your eyes open for that. Go to the record store, your local vinyl store, and get that one.
Yeah, for sure, man. When that came out, I can remember those are all the songs that I loved growing up, and I love to this day. But that's almost exactly what was sitting by the turntable because I have two older brothers. That is record for record. That is what I would put on a daily basis growing up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great, man. Those
yeah.
records.
So come see us in Las Vegas. We'll be playing some of that reel to reel stuff. We're writing new songs. Tesla's got a new song coming out, and it's all about love, man. We love the subject of spreading the love, and that's what it's all about.
That's so great, man. We love
Because
to hear it,
love is
Frank.
alive.
Yes. Look at that, man. That's great. That's great.
Love
And
is
that's
alive.
so Gary too. That's it puts his spirit in there, man, for sure.
He was a spiritual guy, Gary Wright, man. I've read a lot of stuff about him and his philosophies, and there's so much hate in the world that our job as musicians is to project positive love and energy, and that's always been our mission statement, and I'm very proud of that. There's enough angry hardcore bands out there, and God bless them. Hey, man, they're good, man, but our message has always been more about making people feel good with some love.
That's great, man. And you guys are heavy at the same time, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Heavy love.
Yes, absolutely, man. Frank, we love you here, man. Thank you so much. It's
So,
always great to talk to you, man.
peace out. Are we done? You want me to do anything else?
No, you're good, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, let's connect on the Tesla single.
Let's do that when the new Tesla stuff comes out, and maybe we can get Dylan Kane from Novocaine on your show,
Yeah,
and yeah, keep your eyes open for that reel to reel remastered vinyl.
yeah. Ah, man, that's great, man. That's good to hear. Frank, until the next time, love you, buddy. Thank you.
Peace out. Bye.
All right, see ya.